Well, hi, my name is Pastor Dwight Anderson. I'm the director of Prison Mission Association, and I'm excited to be able to talk to you about our ministry. It got started back in 1955 with a guy named Joe Mason down in Texas as he did jail ministry, prison ministry. He found oftentimes the prisoners or the inmates would get relocated to other locations, and he wanted to follow up with them. So he developed a correspondence course that he could mail, so our lessons can go anywhere the mail goes. And we now have over 38,000 students all across the country. We're in pretty much every jail and prison across America. And our goal is to develop leadership from within the prisons and plant house churches, or micro churches is what they're calling them now, within each prison and each jail. And so I'm excited to talk to you about Dave Kepner, who is one of our students. Vern Hendrickson, he went into the Scott County Jail, and he was mentoring David and going through the Bible courses. And David just got so on fire for the Lord, and his life was just transformed. What's really exciting is that Dave now is out of prison, and God has called him to develop the New Creations ministry. So what I love about that is that God redeemed him, pulled him out of prison, and now he's put him in a place of ministry where he can give back to the community. And he is helping those that are coming out of prison, coming out of recovery, equipping them with a career, and teaching them how to work on cars and body work here at New Creations.
I was lost in my life. I was really wrapped up into my own business. I had, several businesses, and it came to a point in my life where I ended up in prison. I lost everything that I had worked for, business, marriage, all of those things. And then, I came to that point where I was at the end of myself. And from that point, I surrendered every room in my house, shall I say, every area I surrendered and because my way got me into prisons and treatments and drug addiction through my whole life. But when I came to the end of my road of myself, that's really when God was able to sculpture and mold me into what His will is for me. And by being humble and grateful for what He has for me to do, and really just surrendering. That's the key. Now it's when I get up each morning, I have a bounce in my step. I willfully will my will to God's will. And that's the difference and the key in my life. I've really come to this understanding and really of being able to be a servant for the Lord.
One of his friends that he reached in the prison was Jim Kralik. He introduced him to the PMA, the Prison Mission Association, Bible Correspondence courses.
I did a prison outreach program with Pastor Dwight Anderson. It was during this time that I really started to open up and understand wholeheartedly what the Bible was all about and what Christ did for us. We were doing a retreat. It was a 3-day retreat. At the one point during the retreat, they dim the lights, and this is when you wholeheartedly give yourself over to God, over to Christ, and all your troubles, your fears, your anxieties, you lay that all on the table, and you ask God into your life. You can see I'm starting to get a little emotional now just thinking about it. Up to this point, I was very angry. I had lost my house, I had lost my job, I had lost everything I worked my entire life for. I was very bitter, and like I mentioned before, I was suicidal. Depression ruled my life, and anger was a huge part of my life. At the drop of a hat, in an instant, I could explode. And that night, at that moment during the retreat, I asked God to help me with that, and I said there had to be more to life. I did not want to live life like that, and this feeling came over me. It was a great warmth that was in the room. I was starting to tear up, get very emotional, and almost instantly, after asking Christ into my life, I could feel this peacefulness, this calmness that settled down over me, and the anxiety, the anger, the depression slowly started to go away. I have been a true believer ever since that day. But if anybody that's known me long enough can see the old me and the new me. They definitely noticed the change. I ended up, when I got out of prison, hooking up with Dave here at New Creations. We are building New Creations into something special.
Both Dave and Jim are involved at Bethesda Church and in the local church and here at the New Creations Ministry. So I am so excited how God can take lives and turn them around and use them to continue to bring the gospel of the grace of God that transforms hearts, lives, and marriages. And so I want to thank you for your prayers and support for Prison Mission Association and for the New Creations Ministry. And if you do want more information about Prison Mission, our website is prisonmission.org, and New Creations is newcreations.org. So again, I'm Pastor Dwight, and want to thank you and God bless you for watching this video.